Before this video begins, I would like to congratulate the 2022 Moto3 World Champion, Ethan Guevara, for his amazing run to the title win this year. There is truly no one more deserving on the grid than him, so congratulations. The Australian Grand Prix was a critical one for the ultra-tight title fight, with 5 races still in contention before the race start, and Australia was the perfect place for them to battle it out. The Phillip Island circuit has held many classic races, and this year's one certainly fits into that category. So let's review the best race of the season so far: 100 podiums for Marquezz. Both Marquezz brothers hit the ground running in Australia, doing well in free practice, with Alex Marquez being in the top 3 of FP1 and Marc Marquez taking the top spot of FP3. Putting aside a certain incident for now, Alex Marquez was doing an excellent job in the race after his 11th place start, hovering in the top 10 and fighting it out in that large lead group. Marc, meanwhile, started from second after an excellent qualifying that saw another epic save from him at MG, similar to the one he produced in 2019. The 8 times world champion would finish in the same place that he started, taking his 100th podium, but battling for the win to the end. It's a big milestone for one of the greatest riders of all time, and it is great to see him getting back to his old ways again. Mixed emotions for Miller. Jack Miller must have been on cloud 9 for the past few weeks, with his dominant win in Japan, podium in Thailand, getting married, and having turn 4 of Phillip Island named after him. However, that cloud came crashing down as Alex Marquez, trying to overtake Luca Marini, clattered into the home hero, taking him out of the race. I do believe that Jack could have won the race. He appeared to have the speed despite being on the back foot for that particular lap and dropping a couple of places. And because Jack had that speed to win, it makes the crash that happened all the more brutal. Particularly with Fabio crashing out, Miller might have been able to close in further on the title lead, but alas, it was not to be. Meanwhile, Alex Marquez must get a penalty for that move in the next round. It never appeared to be on at any point in time, and the precedent set by Fabio's move on Aleix in Assen and Aleix's on Binder in Thailand mean that a long lap penalty at the least is justified. Rookie success. Bezzecchi takes the Rookie of the Year trophy for 2022. Of course, after his podium in Assen earlier this year, and how he has continuously shown up in the top bunch, it was really no question that Bezzecchi would manage this feat. He has made a name for himself in MotoGP, and I'm excited to see what the Italian will be capable of in the next few years. So congratulations to the Rookie of the Year, Marco Bezzecchi. Another 2022 rookie is Remy Gardner, who did an excellent job to collect a point in his home race, which is really all you can ask for considering the form of those Tech 3 KTMs. Remy did run as high as 10th in the race, but couldn't hold on to it, finishing in 15th. Still, it is nice for Remy to achieve that in his first, but hopefully not his last home race in MotoGP. Suzuki success. One more win for the team that is leaving the sport, as Alex Rins took a great feel-good victory for Suzuki. The Spaniard had amazing speed, maximising his Suzuki's abilities and making stunning moves into the southern loop and through the Stoner corner as he pushed through from 10th on the grid. Alex has had a few great wins in his time and some epic battles, but this has to be the best one he has ever achieved. Honda is getting a very capable rider added to their lineup for next year, and I hope that after this result, Suzuki feels a little bit silly for leaving the sport. A lead change. The championship lead changes hands as Pecco Bagnaia takes 3rd on the island and seems to have one hand on the title. Phillip Island would see 5 become 2 in the title fight, as Miller scored no points thanks to the Alex Marquez incident, being completely out of the running now of the championship. Bastianini, meanwhile, finished 5th, now 42 points off the lead of the title, and Aleix Espargaro crossed the line in 9th, slipping to over a race win behind. Sadly for Aleix and Enea, it looks over unless Bagnaia has yet another crash, which is not impossible. So really it's down to 2, as Bagnaia now leads Fabio by 14 points. Quartararo had yet another catastrophe, the 3rd in 4 weeks, as breaking into the Miller corner, his bike got unsettled and he had to go on to avoid a crash. Fabio would continue, but at the southern loop would tip off, just as the Moto2 title leader Augusto Fernandez had done in the earlier Moto2 race. Bagnaia seemingly rode a safe race, knowing that Fabio had crashed. He may have been able to ride harder to attempt to take the win, but it seems he rode with his head, not taking too great a risks and settling for a good 3rd place again, and the title lead, of course. Pecco needs just 11 points over Fabio to take the title in the next round at Malaysia, and with Fabio's bad luck of recent rounds, we might be settling this title sooner than expected. Rider of the weekend. Alex Rins had a great ride this weekend, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who disagrees with that. Starting from 10th and battling through to 1st, attacking, defending, it was truly one of Rins's greatest rides. Struggle of the weekend. Maverick Viñales was an easy struggle of the weekend to pick. Maverick was last in Q2, starting 12th on the grid, and fell back throughout the race, crossing the line in 17th. Considering Maverick's history at Phillip Island, a 17th place finish is pretty terrible, and he needs to bounce back next week in Malaysia. So that was a review of the Australian Grand Prix. What an incredible race it was. It's going to be very tough for Malaysia to follow it. Still, I look forward to the next round. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.